okay? We can get training. What's one of the training types we talked about yesterday? One of the places we can get trained, one of the ways we can get trained, we talked about a couple yesterday. Training, not education, training. Remember, there was education and there was training. What was some of the things yesterday we talked about in training? And I think it was maybe Mickey that brought up a place that you could get training. Kind of like college, but not college. Yeah, UTI. So what's that called? What are those places called? They're not called colleges. Remember, those are the ones called trade schools. All of this is post-secondary, trade schools. And it's like UTI, right? What else? That was for what? UTI is what? What are you trained for at UTI? What is UTI's primary goal? Training you to do what? Because I'm not sure. I've heard it mentioned, but I just wondering. Why do you go to UTI? To learn to do what? Nobody knows what UTI is for? What are they training you to be when you go to UTI? Oh, okay. So UTI would be for mechanic, like auto mechanic? Yeah. Okay. So auto mechanic, right? Where's another place? Where's another place that is a potential for training? Community junior college. The reason why we put community/junior college is because some areas call them community colleges, some areas call them junior colleges, but junior and community colleges, I mean, Delta. What are some of the training programs you can get at Delta, which is a community college, not just auto mechanic? What else could you go to Delta and train for? But it's not really academic college, it's training. Because I know you can also do auto mechanic at Delta, right? What's some of the other things that you can be trained for when you go to Delta? Trained for when you go to Delta. How about nursing? Isn't that something you can do when you can get trained for that at Delta? How about culinary arts, which is the food, right? All those kind of things. The community colleges and the junior colleges have these programs, okay? Another one that someone mentioned, it's called CCBC, which is your barbering and cosmetology. Cosmetology, okay? So it's still education. It's just not book learning, you know? Because not everything has to be book learning. It's okay. If you're not in a book learning kind of person, and it's perfectly fine not to be a book learning person, there are lots of different trades you could do that make really good money. Like plumbers, they make a lot of money. Electricians, the people that, not the electrical engineers, where that's college, electricians, they make a lot of money. Okay. Yesterday, we talked about another way you can get some training other than the trade schools, other than the schools. Near the end of our notes yesterday, we talked about some opportunities you could do. Opportunities you could do. And one of those was the apprenticeship. Apprenticeship. And then there's also internship. Okay. We talked about internship yesterday. Usually internship is unpaid and apprenticeship is paid. Some of those opportunities are required for the job you're doing, especially things in the trades. Like you don't just get to go to UTI and become an auto mechanic and then yay, you get to go do mechanic work. They make you work with an experienced person after or like during the end so you can get actual hands-on experience with an experienced person. That's what the apprenticeships and the internships are. That you work with a person that has the experience to get hands-on training. A lot of it happens with like the carpentry stuff. They don't necessarily have a school you go to. You have to work under someone for a certain number of years to get certified. Okay. Most of these, you will end up needing a certification and licensing to get fully into the career. So some testing may be required. And I think that's with cosmetology too, right? Don't you have to take, I think that they have to take a test. I don't know how often, but I know they have to take a test, the state boards, to prove that you know what you're doing. Okay. Okay. So it's not just, yay, I get to go start working it. You have to do, there's some stuff you have to do. I have a couple people that need to shut all of their tabs except Zoom, Google Classroom, and this activity because they're allowing themselves to be distracted by other things instead of focusing on what they need to get done. All right. So does that make sense? Oh, wait, I have to go back here and I have to do the shift tab thing, right? Shift tab. Yep. Okay. Thank you. See, I remembered. Okay. So you might need training. You might need education. That could be a college degree. Okay. And that could be a 2-year degree or a 4-year degree. Does anybody know what the 2-year degree is called? Do you guys know what the 2-year degree is called? So like for nursing at Delta, it's like a 2-year program. For I think the culinary is a 2-year program as well. Those are called associates degrees because they're only 2 years. Whereas the 4-year is the bachelor's degree. And it depends on the particular career you're going into. Some of the trades just expect the 2-year program. Okay. Some of the things that they want the 4-year. Okay. And then you need to worry about expanding education. There are a lot of times, there are a lot of organizations and careers you do that require ongoing education as a requirement, and you have to recertify during over certain periods of time. Okay. Oops. With this, you might have to get the job first, which was that apprenticeship thing. Or that's where the apprenticeship, they're called, I think that they're called journeymen for, I can't spell. Journeyman is the carpenter. Where carpenter, I can't spell. They make you go ahead and work with somebody as a requirement. So you might go get your certification, and then you have to work with someone for a certain number of years, and then they sign off that you've done the time. And then you get to become a full, I forget what they call the carpentry people, but I know a lot of the trade services do that, where you go and you get your training, and then you have to work with somebody and get certified. Kind of like for doctors, how they have the residents, and they have the med school people, and then they have the residents, and then they have different levels that you have to work your way through, job training wise, before you get fully approved. Okay, before you're fully allowed to be called whatever that is. Okay. All right, questions about that? Okay, turn it in. You should have attached it and turn it in. Let me go get today's work. Let's see what we have to do today. We just got done with notes 3. So it's going to be activity 2. Okay, I should see you turning them in. Okay, so you're going to be doing this activity about soft job skills versus hard job skills. And then, so you're going to complete the attached job application in Cami. Okay, do not use your real address. Okay, do not use your real phone number. Do not use your real social security number. Make something up. Okay, it is your real name, but put a fake address, a fake number, and a fake social security number. Social security numbers go 3, 2, 4. So 3 digits dash, 2 digits dash, 4 digits. Okay. So you're going to make up, if you have not had a job yet, you are going to make up a job, previous employment information. Okay. Previous employment information. So this is the job application paper. Okay. You are putting your real first, last, middle, initial, not your whole name. They don't ask for the whole name anymore. Fake address, fake phone number. You're answering the questions, right? You're filling out and circling your availability and telling them the times and stuff. You're filling out your education, your skills. And if you haven't had a past employer, you're going to make something up that would be appropriate. Okay. And there's two, you have 2 of them you have to do, a present one and a past one. So pretend you're working for somebody now, and then Who did you work before that? So you have 2 fakes that you've got to make if you don't already have a job. If you have a job, put the real stuff. Okay. That's that piece of it. On top of that, you need to be watching the video or no, reading the article about what are some hard job skills versus soft job skills. And if you notice on the very bottom, there is space for you to put your paragraph answer to the article. Okay, to the article. Okay, any questions about that? Any questions about that? You are to make up stuff. It even says that make up information for previous employment. Just got done saying you got to make it up. I suggest that you make up something that would be appropriate to a job you're trying for. So example, you want to fill out a job application to work for Amazon. I would make up a job before that, 2 of them, that relate to the job you're trying to get hired for. So you have, and I just went over this, which is why it's irritating, you're making up a current employer or a past employer, number 1, and a past employer, number 2. 2 employers you're doing. If you already have a current employer, then use your current information and make up a past one. If you already have a current and a past, use them. Okay, but if you don't have them and you've never worked, you have 2 you're making up. Just went over that. Any questions? So at the very bottom is where you put your paragraph answering the questions about the article. Don't forget to mention the article's name. Don't forget to use your capitals, punctuations, all that stuff. Any questions?